This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Eala roars into Eastbourne quarters, set for first ever showdown versus Ukrainian star Wielyn Esto. Bianca Bustamante shifts gears, joins Converge as Formula E development driver. In Major League Baseball, Muncy erupts for 6 RBIs, Dodgers drench Rockies in rain-soaked 8-1 win. In the WNBA, Wielyn Estoque's clutch free throws and Stewart's double-double lift the Liberty past the Valkyries in thriller 8-1. Harper, the Spurs' #2 pick, dedicates NBA journey to his Filipina mom. Meanwhile, Dallas claims its new franchise star. Flagg goes #1 overall in a draft night full of style, shockers, and stardom. And we get to know the College of Saint Benilde's top spiker, Wielyn Estoque. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 26th of June. Now, here's our roundup. Eala just keeps climbing. After a tough start against a Grand Slam champ, the Filipina tennis sensation fought back and now stands just 3 wins away from her biggest title yet. The Filipina tennis ace is through to the quarterfinals of the WTA 150 Lexus Eastbourne Open after staging a stunning comeback against third seed Wielyn Esto 0-6, 6-2, 3-2 in a thriller that ended prematurely when the former French Open champ retired with an ankle injury.
It's never a good feeling to finish a match like that. I hope everything's okay with her because, it was a really tough battle today, and I think both of us were on the brink. It could have been anyone's match. So I wish her a speedy recovery, and I'm super happy to be able to play again in this beautiful place.
Eala now looks ahead to a brand new challenge. Her first ever WTA matchup against Ukrainian Wielyn Esto. Esto, currently world number 42, comes in with a strong 2025 record of 21 wins and 13 losses. She's ridden her grass court momentum into Eastbourne after a finalist run in the Nottingham Open, where she pushed American McCartney Kessler to 3 sets. Esto's best Grand Slam result came at the 2024 Australian Open, where she reached the semifinals. On grass, her highlight remains a Wimbledon round of 16 appearance back in 2019. For Eala, who's already taken down 2 top 20 players this season, including Ostapenko twice, this next battle will be a true test of consistency, confidence, and court savvy. The stage is set. The stakes just keep on rising. Meanwhile, another Filipina is likewise all set to make her mark, from F1 Academy podiums to the streets of Formula E. Filipina driving phenom Bianca Bustamante just took another big step towards making a name on the racetrack. This time with a shockingly powerful turn into the world of Formula E. The 20-year-old racer was earlier announced as the new development driver for the Converge team, a major breakthrough that came after her impressive P3 finish in the inaugural Formula E women's test with Neom McLaren. And now, it's go time. Bustamante is set to tackle the rugged, unforgiving street circuit at the former Tempelhof Airport in Berlin this July 14 when she joins the official Formula E rookie test. Her journey with Converge has already begun, having spent a full day in technical briefings, getting behind the scenes with Gen 3 Evo machinery and bonding with teammates Dan Tictum and David Beckman. On social media, she shared her gratitude and excitement, saying she's soaking it all in and ready to unleash everything she's got. Bustamante shadowed the team during the Jakarta E-Prix, bearing witness to Tictum's first ever race with Converge, another electrifying moment that fueled her hunger to compete. Bustamante's focus is unwavering. Her resume is stacked, from her time with McLaren as a development driver to back-to-back 7th-place overall finishes in the F1 Academy, including 2 victories in her rookie year. She's been putting in the laps, and now it's time to put that knowledge to work. Strap in, Bianca Bustamante's journey is about to get even faster. Now moving on to Major League Baseball, in the middle of a downpour, Max Muncy brought the thunder. Max Muncy unleashed a grand slam and finished with 6 RBIs as the Los Angeles Dodgers powered past the Colorado Rockies 8-1 in a rain-delayed demolition at Coors Field. Muncy's big night included a pop-up that dropped for a 2-run single in the 6th, thanks to torrential rain and a fielding gaffe by second baseman Orlando Arcia. The umpires halted the game right after that slip-up, and after a 1-hour, 27-minute delay, the Dodgers came out swinging. Now, when play resumed, Muncy came back for seconds. He launched a bases-loaded bomb into the Rockies' bullpen in the 7th, his 12th homer of the season, and his second grand slam in just 3 games. Michael Conforto also went deep, while Yoshinobu Yamamoto dealt 5 shutout innings with 6 strikeouts to improve to 7-6. The Dodgers are rolling, winning their 3rd straight and 9th in a row against the Rockies, boosting their record to 50-31. Colorado, now 18-62, continues to struggle. Chase Dollander took the loss, falling to 2-8. The Rockies did spoil the shutout thanks to a Freeman run in the 6th, but that was the lone bright spot in another dark night in Denver. Dodgers dominate, Muncy delivers again, and the storm clouds over Colorado just seem to keep getting darker. In the WNBA, Sabrina Ionescu turns struggle into stone-cold clutch, draining 7 pressure-packed free throws in the final 2 minutes to power the Liberty to a nail-biting 81-78 win over the Valkyries. Sabrina didn't need to light up the scoreboard to make her presence felt. She made her homecoming count when it mattered most. With the game on the line, the New York star calmly sank 7 free throws in the final 2 minutes and came up with a massive steal with 26 seconds left to ice an 81-78 win over the Golden State Valkyries. Breanna Stewart came out firing, pouring in 21 of her 23 points in the first half, while Kennedy Burke delivered 20 big ones off the bench for the Liberty, who snapped out of a mini-slump to improve to 11-3. Ionescu, still feeling the effects of a neck injury, struggled from the field, shooting just 1 of 11. But her composure in crunch time stole the show in front of a sold-out crowd at Chase Center. Kate Martin matched the moment with 21 points, including 3 clutch triples in the 4th quarter. But the Valkyries could not convert late, missing 2 potential game-winning threes in the dying seconds. The Valkyries, now 7-7, saw their 2-game win streak snap, despite the return of center Temi Fagbenli from Eurobasket duty, though she did not play. Next up, the Liberty continue their West Coast road trip against Phoenix, while the Valkyries host the Chicago Sky in a battle of rising WNBA powers. And now, here's something to celebrate, because it's not just his dream, it's hers too. Dylan Harper, the Phil-Am sensation taken number 2 overall by the San Antonio Spurs, says his rise to the NBA is a tribute to the sacrifices and love of his Filipina mother. Maria Pizarro Harper has set social media ablaze right after her son's selection in the 2025 NBA Draft. Dylan, a standout from Rutgers University, was taken 2nd overall by the Spurs just after the Mavericks locked in Duke's Cooper Flagg as the first pick. Harper dedicated his top 2 selection to his mother, who migrated to the United States from Bataan, Philippines. In a heartwarming moment caught live on ESPN, Dylan and his mom, Maria, shared their pride and emotions on draft night.
What has gotten him here?
His flat-out love for the game, his determination, his humility, and just his hard work, day in, day out.
Her presence and poise caught the attention of basketball fans worldwide, and it didn't take long before she began trending online. She was spotted wearing a barong-inspired jacket, a nod to her Filipino roots, which drew praise for celebrating her heritage on a global stage. Meanwhile, Cooper Flagg took the biggest stage in basketball's future, and he did it in style as he officially became the top pick in the 2025 NBA Draft. The Barclays Center turned into a runway and a launchpad as the 2025 NBA Draft opening round delivered everything from draft day drama to fashion statements worthy of front row headlines. Duke phenom Cooper Flagg, the 6'8" basketball prodigy with a game beyond his years, went #1 overall to the Dallas Mavericks, and he looked every bit the superstar he's destined to be. Flagg, decked out in a tailored dark blue suit with a sharp tie and iced-out watch, flashed his grin as Commissioner Adam Silver called his name. This wasn't just a moment for the mind, it was a moment for the eyes. In his one season with the Duke Blue Devils, Flagg averaged 19.4 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 4.2 assists, earning the Wooden Award, Naismith National Player of the Year. Now, he's headed to Dallas to team up with Anthony Davis and bring a new wave of energy to the Mavericks. But Flagg wasn't the only one making noise or turning heads. Dylan Harper, who went second overall to San Antonio, showed up looking like a young king. From VJ Edgecombe's sleek look to Edgar Demin's dapper suit, the class of 2025 came ready to own the night both on and off the court. Meanwhile, Duke once again flexed its NBA pipeline, landing 3 players in the top 10 for the second time in 6 years. And this is just the beginning. This year's rookies came to ball, and they brought the swag too. The future of the NBA never looked this sharp. And now here's your daily dose of sports lingo. Ever felt like your legs have turned to lead halfway through a run? You just might have experienced the infamous bonk. In marathon lingo, bonk, also called hitting the wall, happens when your body runs out of glycogen. Around mile 18 to 20, many runners feel sudden fatigue, dizziness, or even mental fog. It's the body's way of saying, I'm out of fuel. Proper training, pacing, and carb loading before the race and fueling during it can help runners avoid the dreaded bonk. Now, bonking is not fun, but knowing about it is a step towards beating it. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. Kymani Ladi draws NBA interest before even suiting up for Ateneo in the UAAP. He hasn't played a single UAAP game yet, but the 6'8" rookie is already on the NBA's radar. The Phil-Am wingman from Vallejo, California, confirmed that he's received invites for private NBA workouts ahead of the Las Vegas Summer League from July 10 to 17. But here's the catch. Ladi is still working out his clearances with Ateneo University Athletics Office, and he's not yet sure if he can fly back to the U.S. in time. The 24-year-old former Merritt College standout averaged 14.9 points, 7.7 rebounds, and nearly 38% from deep in 26 games before transferring to Ateneo last year, where he sat out due to residency rules. Now, he's set to play his lone UAP season in Season 88. Ladi has already made a statement. He starred for the Blue Eagles in Asia Basket, putting up 14.7 points, 7 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and 1.1 steals per game while leading Ateneo to the finals and earning a mythical 5 nod. One thing's clear, Kymani Ladi isn't just a Blue Eagle to watch. He might be the next Phil-Am to take flight all the way to the NBA. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 26th of June. Up next, we get to know the College of Saint Benilde's top spiker, Wielyn Estoque, when we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. She is one of the strongest weapons in the Benilde Lady Blazers' arsenal, one of the top spikers in the NCAA volleyball tournament. Let's get to know Wielyn Estoque.
Yeah, that was
Wielyn, maraming salamat sa oras. Thank you so much for the time. Wielyn, magsimula tayo sa start ng volleyball journey mo. Tigasan ka ba at paano ka nahilig sa volleyball?
Taga Cotabato City po ako and nahilig po ako sa volleyball since nung high school, grade 7. Kasi unang-una nung parang ano pa lang nun yung wala pang pasok, nakikita ko yung mga friends ko na naglalaro sa labas ng bahay. And then ako, hindi pa ako naglalaro nun. So, wala pa akong gusto sa volleyball nun. And nag-start nun, parang inaasar-asar nila ako na hindi ako marunong mag-volleyball. So, ako nagplan ako, sabi ko pagpasok ko ng grade 7, gusto ko mag-try out naman.
Okay.
Then, ayun, nung after naman nun, nag-try out ako and then, yun nga, nakita ko ng trainer ko na ayun pala may parang dedication ako na maglaro talaga ng volleyball. Yun po talaga yung main reason kasi yun nga parang inaasar-asar ako ng mga friends ko na hindi ako marunong.
Grabe, nag-start pala sa bullying. Binuli pala. Ito si Wielyn. Nako, yung mga nagbubully kay We dati. Ito na siya sa NCAA. Okay, kidding aside, ito naman, ano yung pinakaunang organized volleyball mo? Sa Cotabato ba or dito na sa Manila?
Nung sa high school kasi ako, hindi pa ganun ka, like, may skills na talaga. So, nung pag-start ko ng volleyball is nung nasa TIP ako, Manila, senior high school.
Okay, paano ka napunta sa TIP? Sino nag-recruit sa'yo?
Yung trainer ko kasi, may kapatid siya na nag-aaral and volleyball din sa TIP.
I see. Okay.
And then, parang, ayun, sinabi ng trainer ko na, ayun, naghahanap sila. So, kung gusto ko daw i-try. And then, ayun, parang kinuha na rin ako ng TIP noon. So, bumiyahe na ako agad ng Manila kasi syempre, opportunity din, sayang din. And para makahelp din kila mama sa ACADS.
Ilan ba kayong magkapatid? And sports ba yung nasa sports din ba yung family mo or hindi naman?
Hindi. Actually, yung mga tito ko lang, naglalaro kasi sila ng basketball. So, ayun, wala sa family namin yung sporty. So, ako lang yung meron ngayon.
Okay. Ngayon, from TIP, paano ka recruit ni Coach Jerry?
Nung una, si coach kasi, head coach din po siya sa TIP noon.
Si Coach Jerry?
Yes, head coach siya.
Okay.
And then, nung time na yon, parang gusto niya talaga ako kunin noon sa CSB na. Kaso, nandun pa ako sa TIP noon. Nung sa TIP po kasi, ang focus ko lang noon is yung pag-aaral ko. Parang wala pa ako masyadong sa priority sa volleyball. So, parang time na noon is parang sabi ko gusto ko pa mo magstay dito talaga sa TIP kasi yun nga, ACADS muna. And then, nagkaroon ng pandemic and then, nag-crisis po. So, nagtanggalan po yung TIP noon. Wow. Opo. Tapos, nung time na yun, parang ngayon, kinuha na ako ni coach noon na sabi, CSB ka na. Ganon.
So, parang blessing in disguise din.
Yes po.
Yung nangyari. Okay. Pero kung hindi volleyball, let's say kung nagtuloy-tuloy ka sa ACADS mo, ano sa tingin mo yung magiging trabaho mo, if ever?
Kasi yung gusto kasi ng mama at papa ko talaga is bank talaga. Kaya parang sabi ko, nung una ayoko kasi sabi ko ayoko talaga ng math. Pero nung nasa TI po kasi sige, try ko mag financial management na. Nagustuhan ko naman kasi yun nga, focus naman ako sa ACADS na lagi ako napasok. So ayun.
Nag-graduate yung mga ate nyo. So maraming bagong mga players na pumasok. So, for you, ano ba yung adjustment mo? Kasi syempre, may mga times na nagsa-start ka, may mga times na off the bench ka. So, for you, dahil sobrang lalim at sobrang dami ng mga players, paano ka nag-a-adjust knowing that kailangan nyo pa rin mag-focus sa goal, which is to win a championship?
Siguro, ayun nga lang, sabi sa amin ni coach na lagi talaga mag-focus dun kung ano yung goal namin and kung ano yung plan namin. Siguro kung una, nag-start ako, siguro yun nga yung parang goal namin na plan namin na maglaro muna. Basta makapuntos or manalo kami, yun lang naman talaga yung goal.
So, for you, I just want to ask now about yung playing style mo. Kasi malakas ka pumalo, high flyer. So, meron bang player na nag-inspire sa'yo maglaro na ina-idolize mo sa UAP or NCAA dati or sa PVL? Meron ba?
Wala naman po. Siguro ako, gusto ko lang kasi talaga mag-improve din. Siyempre, nanonood naman ako ng mga UAAP or PBL. Siguro nakakakuha din naman ako ng mga insights doon sa kanila na, ganito palang maglaro. And at least may ano po ako na nakukuha sa kanila.
Okay, so wala talagang specific na player na talagang, ay, parang gusto ko i-pattern yung laro ko dito sa player na to.
Wala naman po.
Okay. So ano naman ang say mo doon sa mga taong nagda-doubt, nagsasabi, kaya nang talunin yung Benilde kasi wala na yung apat. Ano yung reaction mo doon?
Actually, ako po kasi, since social media yan, ang akin po kasi, yung mga tao na yan is may mga opinion po talaga sila. So, hindi po namin control yan. May masasabi at masasabi po talaga sila sa amin. Pero yung importante po sa amin is kung ano lang yung goal namin, kung ano lang yung focus namin. And then, ayun po, kaya po sa mga nagda-doubt po sa amin, okay lang. Yan lang, wala naman kami pake kung ano yung sasabihin nila.
So, eto, Wielyn, for my last question, syempre, malayo yung pinanggalingan mo from Cotabato, tapos nandito ka sa Manila ngayon, sa Benilde. Bakit masarap maging estudyante ng College of Saint Benilde?
Ayun po, kasi provided po lahat sa amin. And then, nagsusupport naman po yung CSD sa amin and yung school mismo. And hindi naman kami pinapabayaan within sa ACADS and sa paglalaro namin. Kaya sobrang thankful po kami and grateful.
Ayan. Sana all. Sana ma-experience yung ganong klaseng treatment bilang student-athlete. Wielyn, maraming salamat
Thank you po
sa oras.
so much. Okay po.
And good luck sa NCAA Season 100.
Thank you po.
Up next, two teams, two different directions. Boston is rolling, Clark still searching. And the Fever are fighting to rise in the East. But Dereka Hamby and the Sparks, they're hungry for a reset. Who steps up when it counts? We're about to find out. So you can keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. Okay, here we go. Tomorrow at Indianapolis. You've got two teams headed in very different directions. The Indiana Fever are fighting to find their rhythm, riding a breakout performance from Eala, Boston. Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Sparks are trying to figure out who they are without Cameron Brink and with a defense that's leaking like a busted fire hydrant. It's the kind of matchup that sounds simple on paper, but in the WNBA, nothing is ever simple. So let's start with Indiana. Eala Boston just dropped a career-high 31 points on the Storm. This isn't just about scoring, it's about dominance. She bullied defenders in the paint, anchored the glass, and straight up dictated the game. And even with Caitlin Clark shooting 3 for 13 and going scoreless from deep, Indiana put up 94 on Seattle. That's a good team finding ways to win without their superstar in rhythm. Boston and Kelsey Mitchell combined for 57. That's balance, that's resilience. Now the Sparks, they've dropped 4 straight, and they just gave up 97 to a struggling Sky team. Let that stink in. We're up by 12 in the second quarter, the Sky were, and still lost by 11. That's a collapse, and not just a scoreboard thing. It's an identity thing. Now, Dereka Hamby's been their rock, putting up 15 and 7 in the last one. But Kelsey Plum and Azura Stevens need to do more. The late game execution isn't there, and with Cameron Brink out, the rim protection just vanishes in crunch time. So let's be real. This game is going to be won in the paint. Boston versus Hamby, both are physical, both rebound, both can stretch the floor a bit. But Boston's got the size and footwork edge. If Hamby can't stay out of foul trouble, Indiana could control the interior all night. Also, keep an eye on the Fever bench. Lexi Hall and Damiris Dantas combined for 25 against Seattle. If that second unit holds serve, it could be a long night for LA. Indiana averages 84 points per game. The Sparks give up 87.3. The Sparks allowed 90-plus points in 3 of their last 4 games. Caitlin Clark, 1 for 23 from deep over her last few games, but 8 assists per game still. Indiana's at home. They've got the momentum. They've got a front court advantage, and Clark's due. Maybe not a 30-point night, but a 12-10 double-double feels realistic. Now, if Boston brings even 80% of what she just showed in Seattle, Indiana should have this one in hand. The Fever pull away late, 88-80 final. And suddenly, they're no longer a fun young team. They're a real problem. So stay ahead of the game as the WNBA heats up in Heartland. Who's got the edge in this East-West clash? Let's break down the numbers and set the stage for tomorrow's tip-off. Before we go, think on this. From one of the rising stars in mountain biking, she represented the U.S. at the Olympics and has claimed multiple World Cup podiums with fearless tenacity. Haley Batten once said, "The hardest challenges are what make us great." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport right here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.